Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2024. This week is famous for being the Thanksgiving holiday week in the US. I'll talk about that in a moment. Just want to go through a couple of things. This is a disclaimer. Essentially what it says is that I trade live here, but I do not give advice. I am merely showing what I'm doing. I'm not charging for it. It is not intended to be a financial promotion, nor is it intended to act as advice or recommendations, but purely an insight into how a trader navigates the European trading session. It says that this is session number 15. I can almost pretty much assure you it isn't. So that probably should have been amended now that I think about it. Ignore that. But it is the 26th of November. Sorry about that. That should actually not have been there. So a few facts about my live trading. I'll trade the DAX and the FTSE, which will open in approximately 3 minutes. During the US, I'll trade the Dow and the Nasdaq. I rarely trade anything else. I trade for anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. I never use indicators. I'll explain very carefully what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I trade a product called CFDs. It's essentially the same as futures contracts, but to me it is a superior product. Okay, I think that's all I really want to say about this. Use broker. Yes, if you want to see the prices that I'm trading at, but not necessarily trade with the same broker that I'm using, then go to td365.com, and on that front page it says try demo account. You simply just click on that and you will see exactly the same charts and exactly the same prices that I'm trading at. Not that it's so important, but if you trade futures, you may not quite understand why I'm calling the prices I'm calling, because the futures contracts will trade at a future price, while the CFDs have been discounted down into the purest on this day price, subtracting dividends, time to maturity, etc. All right. And finally, I have disconnected comments and chats on YouTube because it is distracting for my trading. It is also a sad fact of life that Telegram, the app, has turned completely rogue recently and is no longer even responding to messages about scammers using or copying posts from, for example, my channel. It is something that I intend to do something about. I don't know whether to sue Telegram yet or simply just naming them, shaming them publicly, although I have tried that and that doesn't seem to work either. So Telegram sadly is turning into an El Dorado of Wild Wild West where anything goes. It's a sad indictment of a platform that used to be actually really good. Okay, we're starting shortly. I'm just going to get rid of this, so just bear with me 1 second. So here we go. As you can see here on this software that you are seeing here is a software that I developed. It sits as an extension on top of the brokerage that I use. It gives me alerts to when some of my setups appear, and it is if you want to use it, it is yours for the taking. You just have to contact me on @Tom Hougaard. Please see the description in the YouTube stream. And over here I have the FTSE. Ignore that. I have a buy right now in the FTSE, but it's like I'm trading half a cent. It was a test trade to see if it reflected on the software, and I forgot to close it. So here we go. This countdown tells you how much is left, and we can now apply Espresso. So Espresso came in at 65 and 59. That means there will be a buy signal in the FTSE at 72. and a sell short at 53. Whether we take them or not, that's another matter. I haven't developed the espresso really thoroughly yet in the DAX, but that guy that we call Karaoke Andy, who is extremely helpful to me, he's been using or toying with the idea of using an offset from the low of the last 10 minutes of 15, which means that would trigger a short in the DAX about 97. I'm careful to use this approach in the DAX because I don't think it is as transparent as the FTSE is. This button here will show you the price where the market closed yesterday. So the market closed yesterday at 8291, and the same here in the FTSE. It closed at 19405, so we have a gap down on both indices. So I think that's it. I think we've covered on all bases. So let's see what the market has to give for us. The first thing I look for in the morning is the first 5-minute candle. So in this case, that would be a first bar positive or first bar negative. But I still got 2 minutes to go before I know what that's going to be. If we look at the daily chart, let's get rid of this. So here's the daily chart of the DAX. We've had a somewhat of a subdued start to the week. We finished on our highs on Friday, but yesterday and today, perhaps because it is a Thanksgiving week, has started off on a more somber tone. I'm not trading on Thanksgiving. In America, the markets are closed. This is on this Thursday, and I'm not trading the European. I might have a look at it and keep an eye on it, but I won't be streaming. And I certainly won't be trading in the US because it's closed. Then on Friday, the following day, the US markets actually only open for half a day. And again, I'm not going to trade that. So that was the first 5-minute bar. So you can see here in the FTSE, it was a first bar positive. That means that this bar here if we trade below that and it has a low down here at 62, I would want to sell short. Here's a bigger picture. This move here happened during the night and a recovery. And just before the market opened, we stopped just around the halfway mark. I should really delete that small position because just get rid of it. Because it's even distracting me. Stand by on the FTSE, please. So the FTSE has triggered a short. One sec. Just double check something. I am short the FTSE. So this trade here is called a first bar positive. It's when the first 5-minute bar is positive. My short should be at 82.62.4 minus 1 point, so 82.61.4, but I was a bit slow on my trigger. And there's the stop loss. I would normally attempt to move my stop loss to break even if I had 5 points in profit. The problem with mechanical entries is that they are based on research of thousands of market conditions. But what they don't always take into account is, well, what if you're shorting right into an area which could be deemed as support, which this area here could be. Unfortunately, that's just part and parcel of trading a mechanical approach, such as first bar positive. So down here, we got the DAX coming down to support on the 30-minute chart either. See, that's the kind of area that I would like to be a buyer at. And if the DAX finds support here, then there's a good chance that the FTSE will follow suit. But let's see how this plays itself out. So far it's looking okay. Not a huge profit, but then that's not always what you get in the FTSE. So my stop loss is up here. Just gonna have to be patient to move that down. So now I got 5 points in profit, so I'll click on this thing here. That will move my stop loss to break even. Although, you know, if you were smarter about this, you'd probably put the stop loss just a few points above. But anyway, it was just also to demonstrate the stop loss feature. So it's very much a question of trying to move the stop loss down as quickly as possible and then hope for the best. There's an obvious target down here at around 50. And the 15-minute chart indeed does look like that's on the cards. But I'm going to get stopped out now for 0. Still in it. So what's interesting now is that if we use the espresso technique will have a low at 59. That means that we actually got a short triggering now here at 53. We're not quite there yet. So I could certainly be tempted to add to my short position at 53. That's what I'm doing now. I just added at 53. I'm going to use a 12-point stop loss on that. So now I got 2 positions open, and one with a stop loss to break even and one with a stop 12 points away. Just gonna see if this aggregate works. No, it doesn't. What? Maybe. No, actually it does. It's just on as a line. So now we got a profit on the first, and we're also profit in the second. When it comes to it and you want to close all the positions in one go rather than one at a time, you can just press that button there. If you need to download this software, you need to contact me on @TomHougaard. It is free of charge, but it's a really, really good extension to sit on top of this platform. It just gives you some functionalities like moving stop losses and placing orders very quick. Okay, so it's looking good. I want to show you how that works. I'm just gonna take half profit. So I just click on this position here, voila, and now it's closed half my position. So what you're seeing here in the DAX, according to my limited ability to read charts, but this was just an attempt to clear out whatever stops, or maybe not so cynical, get the market down here where the orders are, and then back into the range. My aggressive school run will set up a long signal momentarily. I think I'll close this FTSE position. So I made on, let me just give you a full transparency. So I made on the first, and I lost, my fill was at 55. So I lost 2 points on the second entry. The reason why I'm closing the FTSE is because of what I'm seeing in the DAX. It's rare to get the DAX rallying and then the FTSE not rallying. Not impossible, of course, but so the way I interpret charts is, I don't think that's my chart reading abilities or anything special. I just think that this market took out the lows to get orders filled down here, even perhaps stop out some unfortunate ones, and it clears the way for filling the gap. Well, that's ambitious, obviously. So what you saw over here is an entry approach called aggressive school run. It is where I label the fourth 5 minute. Now, what I would love to do is I'd love to show you the PowerPoint presentation that I went through in Germany, in Frankfurt, on Friday, where I took the audience through the aggressive school run. And then I proved to them that, as frustrating as it may be for a new trader or an experienced trader, you could actually argue that you could be a buyer above here, but you could actually also be a seller. That's the irony of it, is that there's about a 50-50 chance. It's just that when you get a run-up, the market really does tend to run above. But if you decide to short, you can short it up here. In this case, it would be, oh, sorry, I'm actually looking at the wrong time period. I do apologize. You could be a shorter at 19,302 with a stop loss around 19,315, or you could be a buyer at 259 or just below. So what, and this obviously sounds alarmingly logical, but what's going to happen above this 4-minute bar is that the market is going to accelerate up towards 350. That's one possibility, and when it does tend to do so with gusto. Or we're just going to sniff above prior bar high. And then trade back in the range. FTSE, show you that 5-minute bar. I got out here. Market rallied to 61. And we're back down. So the FTSE needs a little more towing down here. New lows for the FTSE. Beautiful touch in the FTSE. Beautiful double bottom. I tend not to look at questions that happens while I'm trading, but I've been looking a little bit this morning. There's a guy who says here, can you please explain the pin bar, as in it is always the third bar regardless of the time frame? Of course it isn't. It like, how can it be? You know, of course the same bar doesn't happen every single day. You have completely misunderstood the post that I posted yesterday. What I said yesterday was that when you get a pin bar like the one that you see, and the low of that pin bar is taken out, that's when I want to short. It says bar 3 is a pin bar. That doesn't mean that the third bar is always a pin bar. And if I change the time frame from a 5-minute chart to a 4-hour chart, well, obviously it would look completely different. Come on, get your head in the game here. And I also got questions like, sorry, I'm listening in on the live and I'm trying to find FTSE on my MT5 and I'm unable to find it. I am thinking, what's that got to do with me? Surely you must exercise a degree of responsibility by yourself. And you can see that it's called UK 100. Yeah, you see that up there? It says UK 100. And the DAX is called Germany 40. It's because the product names FTSE, DAX, Dow, Nasdaq, S&P 500, they are what's called copyright name protected. That means that CFD companies that replicate their price action behavior either through liquidity providers or market makers or futures itself, they have to give them a different name. So far, the DAX is worryingly trading within inside the range of the second 10-minute bar. That is unfortunately a sign of a market that is in a rush to do nothing. And if the market's in a rush to do nothing, well, maybe I should be in a rush to do nothing. Okay, so if I swap over to the 15-minute chart, you will now see a sell signal and a buy signal exactly the same place as the aggressive school run. And that witnesses the complete lack of volatility. So what the school run will suggest is that I sell short below 19,259 and I buy above 19,301. Now you'll see here that it's an offset. So if I used a 5-point offset basically just means how much above or below the signal bar do you want the order to trigger. And if I then got rid of these and just click that, there you see the school run much better. But there is actually a chance that I want to be a buyer of the DAX below this low here. Not 100% certain yet. But let's see. Got the prices up here. Just checking the FTSE for a potential buy below 82.48. Use a 15-point stop loss. Please stand by. I'm buying the DAX here, currently trading at 57. I'm going to move that stop loss up to 34. I'm buying the FTSE here. Excuse me. So I want to move the stop loss up relatively quick. So what you see here is I've done something which goes completely contrary. And I did that because of how I interpret the first and the second 15-minute bar. I actually went to be a buyer below. Let's see if I'm pulling that off or not. So far, not looking too good. So I'm losing 2 points in the FTSE, and I'm losing 15 points in the DAX. So I just want to stress that I'm doing the opposite of what I would normally do. Normally I would sell short below this bar here. But I decided to do the opposite today, and obviously that was not the right thing to do. My stop loss is at 34, market is currently trading at 38. If the FTSE starts trading up at 53, I will want to add to my long position. The same can be said for the DAX. If the DAX begins to trade above 64, I will buy it again. I think it's an important trait as a trader to always consider your beloved trading technique from a different point of view. You buy the breakout, or you buy a retracement, or fill in the blanks. But then you actually force your mind to say, what if I did the opposite? What if I did the opposite? How would that look? I can assure you it's not a soothing thought when you've spent, if not hundreds and thousands of hours on testing and researching, and then you simply turn it on its head and going, oh my God, I'm being rewarded for that. So now you can see I'm slightly in profit in the DAX, marginally. Not exactly out of the woods yet, but there's certainly buying interest in this area, which was close to the swing low. We'll see. bear with me for a minute or so. I'm gonna leave you for a minute. Just need to do something. I'm just gonna put the pause screen on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So it's a relatively quiet morning. So when this bar closes, I would want to move the stop loss up to 240, 245. And now I think I'll press this button here. Stop loss is now at break even. Let me just check the FTSE. No, still losing a bit in the FTSE. Excuse me. DAX is doing well. I'm taking my profit here in the DAX. Closed here for 20 points. And let me just swap over. I'm going to close my FTSE here. I'm losing 1 point. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my morning trading session with you this morning. I just want to explain a couple of things. About a week ago, pretty much to be exact, I was lying on a bathroom floor in the great city of Athens. And I'll spare you the gory details, but it wasn't pretty. And no, I wasn't ODing because I am a rock star and I had been out partying and sniffing coke off strippers' tits. No, quite the contrary. I had been eating a salad, and as they say in Hamlet, something's rotten in the state of, well, that was Denmark, but in this case it was the salad. And I had a violent case of traveler's disease. I am recovering from it, fortunately, as one should. But as you can probably see from that video that I posted on Friday from Frankfurt, I actually look quite gaunt. I hadn't eaten pretty much all week. And yeah, I went on the scale and I was quite shocked how much weight I had lost, which I'm sure a lot of it was fluids. So I'm just taking it, I'm not saying I'm taking it easy because I really am not, but if I get an opportunity to get the job done, then I will take that opportunity, and that's what I've attempted to do this morning. So just a quick review of the morning trading. I took a reverse school run and I made 20. And in the FTSE, there was a first bar positive, shorted at 53, and closed it at, it says I closed it at 54, so I must have lost on that. And then I lost again a little bit. I think overall I've lost a point or so in the FTSE. Anyway, that's me done for today. I just want to reiterate a couple of things. One, I'm not trading Thursday and Friday because it's Thanksgiving in America. And as a result of it, the market can be a little bit, to trade. And so I'm going to give myself a break. I am here this afternoon to trade the US, and again tomorrow to trade the European and the US. So overall, I think I made 4,000 pounds for this 50-minute session. I'm not completely unhappy with that. Have a wonderful rest of the morning. I will see you later. And once again, could I please ask you to use caution when you contact me, because scammers will have set up names that are closely resembling my real name. But if anybody ever asks you to send them money so that you can participate in some outrageous investment scheme, it isn't me. I just don't do that. Not me. All right. Thank you so much. All the very best. Bye-bye.